Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for your news at noon. I'm Abby Furchner. Jordan Schreier has the day off. It's 12:01 and it's looking like a rainy, dark, and stormy start to our week. Let's go right ahead and check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Yeah, our visibility has been quite low in Fargo with a steady downpour that's been coming down for some time now, and we're really starting to add up the rain. I just took a peek out of in the Fargo area here in South Fargo, and conditions are going to continue to be an issue for us here as we make our way through the afternoon. So here's the look at the radar. You can see we've got showers and heavy rain and at times lightning and thunder, so some thunderstorms rolling through. One has been moving through the FM area for some time, and the heavier rain right now looks to be in Clay County, though we're still seeing some steady rain in Cass and back over into Lakes Country as well. We've got that rain coming down and the lightning and thunder over toward Pelican Rapids and Perham and New York Mills as well. So this is going to continue making its way to the north and east. We've got a break after this round, but a short one. There's more rain filling in that space in the Ellendale area, Sisseton area that will follow that. So the break won't last forever, but there are some pockets here and there where we're still in the dry conditions here today, and that's up by Roseau and Badette right now. But eventually this rain will make it to you. You can see it pushing into Grand Forks now, and this will keep our temperatures down. We stayed at 57 degrees in Fargo for the past several hours. It's going to be tough to warm up with the rain continuing to drive those temperatures on the lower end. And just keep in mind the rain, the mist, the cloud cover making visibility low. We're at 3/4 of a mile in Fargo and in Carrington, and we'll continue to see some issues with visibility. So have those headlights on throughout the day, and you can see we're not really warming up at all here today. We'll see that chance for rain sticking around. We'll let you know when it will start to improve and when we'll start to see perhaps a little sunshine again here in the forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Lisa. We'll check back in with you again soon. One man has been arrested for DUI following a rollover crash that happened early this morning in Devil's Lake. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office says that the vehicle ran off the road and rolled, ejecting the driver. The passenger in the car, 30-year-old James Rayner Jr., found the driver and tried to wake him. The driver, 22-year-old Evan Volk, did wake up and tried to flee the scene, but a Ramsey County deputy apprehended him. Volk was arrested for DUI, and it was determined that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Both Volk and Rayner Jr. were taken to the hospital for minor injuries, but later Volk was flown to Altru Hospital in Grand Forks as his injuries became more serious. Rayner Jr. was wearing his seatbelt at the time of the crash. A 28-year-old man is now behind bars after assaulting a police officer in Jamestown. Officials say it happened Saturday night around 11 when officers got a call for a man walking down the street and staring into windows. When officers arrived on scene, they located 28-year-old Christopher Perman in the parking lot of Casey's General Store. Perman then fled on foot and ran into a bar. A physical altercation ensued between the officer and Perman, resulting in the officer being injured. Additional officers arrived and arrested Perman. Perman faces several charges and is currently being held in the Stutsman County Correctional Center. Moorhead police are looking for a vehicle and suspect after a shooting in South Moorhead. A number of people called for help just before 10 last night when they heard shots fired in a parking lot in the 1900 block of 18th Avenue South. Moorhead police and Clay County deputies swarmed the area but did not find any suspects. Police say there were no reports of injuries and no one is in custody. One woman is recovering following an injury accident in the Northern Valley. Officials say it happened this morning around 7:30 when the Grand Forks police officers were dispatched to an injury accident at 4th Avenue South and Chestnut Street. Police say a Pontiac driven by Mary Hunter of Grand Forks was eastbound on 4th Avenue South and then slowed to turn left onto Chestnut Street. When a Cadillac driven by a 15-year-old male was also traveling east on 4th Avenue South and struck the rear of the Pontiac. Hunter was transported to Altru Hospital by ambulance. The 15-year-old driver was cited for care required. Both vehicles were towed due to damage. The Trump administration is facing bipartisan backlash after a plan to secretly host members of the Taliban at Camp David days before 9/11 came together and fell apart. It was supposed to be a summit aimed at ending America's longest war in Afghanistan, something President Trump campaigned on. But the president's dramatic decision to cancel secret talks with the Taliban, he says over a deadly car bombing, is sparking a bipartisan backlash. Some lawmakers are now questioning President Trump's overall strategy and what it all means for the prospects of peace. NBC's Kristen Welker reports.
This morning, the president is facing mounting scrutiny after planning and then abruptly canceling a secret meeting with the Afghan government and the Taliban that was set to take place Sunday at Camp David, just days before the anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo out on 5 Sunday shows defending the strategy.
President Trump ultimately made the decision. He said, I want to talk to President Ghani. I want to talk to these Taliban negotiators. I want to look them in the eye.
And insisting Camp David was an appropriate location to host the Taliban, a group which harbored the al-Qaeda terrorists behind the September 11th attacks.
Did anybody bring up whether it was appropriate to have the Taliban set foot on Camp David?
Well, there were lots of discussions around that. Camp David has a long history, an important history, and it's also had an important role in complex peace negotiations, sometimes with some pretty bad actors, as you well know.
Pompeo indicating the talks are now dead for the time being after the president dramatically called off the meeting Saturday night. Mr. Trump saying because the Taliban admitted to a car bombing in Kabul that killed Army Sergeant First Class Ellis Barretto and 11 other people. How many more decades are they willing to fight? The president tweeted. That was the 16th U.S. combat death this year in Afghanistan. The plan to host Taliban leaders at Camp David sparking bipartisan criticism. No member of the Taliban should set foot there ever. The Taliban still harbors al-Qaeda, tweeted Republican Representative Liz Cheney. Democrats also lashing out.
You don't treat this like some kind of game show when you're dealing with terrorists.
Mr. Trump campaigned on a promise to end America's longest war.
The war that's been going on forever.
And with no end in sight now, America's top diplomat with this warning.
If you're the Taliban, conditions have been worsening, and they're about to get worse.
Officials say the drawdown was an element of the negotiated peace deal, which is on hold for now. Target lovers, you'll want to hear this. The chain is launching a loyalty program. That tops our look at consumer news. Target Circle, Target's new loyalty program, is set to roll out across the country on October 6th. The program offers new perks like birthday rewards and personalized coupons. The retail chain started testing Target Circle in February and has seen success. Target says customers enrolled in the program are spending more than those who are not. The program is free and does not require customers to have a Target credit card.